Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Three Bone Theater's YouTube channel. My name is Tiffany Bryant-Jackson, the education manager here, and I've got our special community guest with us today so you can learn more about Enlace in Charlotte. They are partnering with us for Mojada. They are a Medea in Los Angeles. You've heard us talk about why we brought this show to Charlotte with our co-director last week. This week, it's your turn to learn about our community partner and what they're up to around our area and why we've chosen them for this production. I'm going to give each of them a moment to introduce themselves and tell us your role at Enlace and how you came to be involved in Enlace.
Sure.
In alphabetical order, if that's fine.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll go first. My name is Alicia Emmett, and I was a former board member, former chair of Enlace for the past couple of years, and I'm turning it over to the current chair, Irlanda.
Hi, hello. Thank you, Alicia. So my name is Yolanda Ruiz. I am the chairperson of Enlace, and this been a collaboration that start with Alicia. So because we are a nonprofit, that our vision is to enhance social capital within the Latinx community in the Charlotte metro area. This what you're doing with Medea aligns for the things that we want to do regarding our community and the culture and everything. So Alicia, if you want to say a little bit more how all this start, that will be great.
Sure.
Mhm.
The Three Bone Theater reached out to Enlace a while back to be their community partner from Mojada. So we looked up into it a little bit. What is Three Bone Theater? What is Mojada? And we were just so excited to get involved. It's such a great program. It's such a great show, and I'm really excited about it. But I will turn it over to Maura and let her introduce herself as well.
Thank you, Alicia. Like Alicia said, my name is Maura Chavez. I am actually the current treasurer for Enlace. I have been with Enlace for a while now. It's been maybe several years. And I've seen how this organization has grown into what used to be just a few organizations just trying to coordinate certain little health fairs or little events to now being able to partner with other organizations within the community. And it's more of just getting everybody in the community to know more about the Latinx community in itself.
Love it. And you brought up some great things about connection and bringing everyone together. For those who may be new to what we do at Three Bone, each of our shows has a community partner locally because we believe in carrying the mission past the show. So we want you to be connected with people locally who are driving the mission forward. So when you leave and you're like, I'd love to dig into more orgs in Charlotte, I'd love to connect more, that is why we partner. I'm curious, does anyone know of the three of you how many orgs are a part of Enlace at the moment?
I do. Actually, we're in the phase of renewing our membership. So this is a perfect time for anybody, any organization. We don't count people, we count organizations because we feel like that's the strength, because unfortunately, sometimes people move from one place to another, but hopefully the organization sees the necessity of being a member within LASE. So last fiscal year, we had right around 60 organizations. I'm proud to say we're about 50% renewing our memberships. We go for another few weeks. So I'm hoping we're going to still do that. And these are not just organizations specifically for Latin American communities. We're talking about CMS, we're talking about the health, the hospitals, Atrium Health, Novant. We are talking about nonprofits like yourself, like theater, art. We also have a lot of other organizations that just want to be able to put their foot in the door within the Latinx, or just to understand how to connect better. So our thing is that you don't necessarily have to speak Spanish to come to our meeting, because all our meetings are in English, because the only thing you need really is want that connection.
And
I love it.
About the ripple effect. So once we share information out to Enlace members, they share it out to their network and their network and their network. So the members is just the first ripple, and then it gets shared even more from there. Of course, the best way to stay connected is to be a member. I'm sure we'll talk about membership. But our network goes way wider than that even.
I will second that. I went to your last meeting and I left there, and I think I've told at least 4 people past the meeting, I just went to this meeting. There were all these great organizations there. We should really look into these literally that day. It was like, oh, I just went to this meeting. Oh, I just went to this meeting. I just went to this meeting. And I ran into a friend at another org and I was like, yeah, I was just over here. She goes, yeah, we were part of that. So it's fantastic to see that ripple effect, as you said, Alicia. This is what's happening past the moment. And I want to dig into like the thought behind the creation of Enlace. Why was it originally thought, man, we really need this. This is important, especially here in Charlotte.
I can talk a little bit of the history real quick. The history basically when we established, and we just had our 25th anniversary last year, so we're still like over went through one milestone. I know we're gonna have several other ones. We just kind of saw the organizations, and even currently there's still the same people wanting to go out into the community. And then we saw like the community in a whole started doing these health fairs, and we're like, okay, why are there 3 health fairs the same day, and I'm just one person or in community engagement per staff, and I can't be in 3 places at once. So what we kind of thought is like, okay, let's get these organizations together and maybe we can coordinate those community events. So that's how it started. And that's why we always have that past history of having that health aspect, that we're all social workers or we're all related into the health aspect of the community. But now it's expanded more, because within that, we're like, why don't we get the school system? Why don't we get the nonprofits in here? Why don't we do, and then we started nibbling about how the networking piece was so great, because we started having these meetings, and then it was just like a round table of, which we still continue to do at the end of the meetings, of like, what's going on. And then we started having conversations like, oh, you want to do a fair? I want to do something too. Why don't we collaborate? You do the location, I have the money for the food and stuff. Because unfortunately, especially when you're talking about organizations and nonprofits, if you have a grant, there's just certain things your grant, depending on which grant you got, that they're going to be paying for. So we pull those resources together, they were able to really impact more the community and provide that information of wealth, or the wealth of information, to a lot more members in the community. And that's how it's grown throughout the years.
Thank you. Quick question. I'm going to toss to you, Orlando. You mentioned social capital earlier, and Maura mentions a little bit about the connections being important. And I've been down the rabbit hole over the last couple of years of what we're missing in social capital and how it helps other people. And I know, especially when you're of a different culture, I can speak for myself. Culturally, I was taught, like, you don't need to ask anyone for help. You don't really need that. And as I've raised my own children, I've understood the importance of social capital and how that benefits us all. So I'd love to hear your take on how you see some of that in action within Enlace.
Well, I think that we are stronger in numbers. So when you have, for example, the education, and sometimes you have organizations that needs to get together, as Maura says, to do an event, to provide information. So you don't have to go around, just looking. So you will know what is the place. And working, with the Hispanic community as well, a lot of people doesn't want to ask for help. There's some stigma, like having help, but we are trying to basically say, no, it's okay. You can have help. Also, some things that we're working is on mental health, because that's something that our community is kind of scared, to admit that I need some help. So I guess that there's a lot of things that connect us together. And I think that with Enlace, we're having the leaders, because the people who came to our meetings, they are the leaders of the organizations. They are the people who are at the community. So that will create, as the name saying, a link. So something that, I mean, maybe it's not Alicia, the one that who can help me, but probably is Mora or is Eunice or is someone. So because we have all these issues that affect us in some way, you know, housing, disabilities, also health and faith and LGBT issues. So we have all these organizations that are in the community, and you can look at them and you can make that connection. So that's what we are for. And I think that it's very important that people, you know, get to know a little bit more. We want them, our meetings are public. So the community could come, see what's going on, have the information. We have presenters that they provide information that is relevant to what's happening in the city, in the county, about services, about health, about police, about security. So there's a lot of topics that we present. Also about art. We have you on the last meeting. So it's all around, and I invite the people to come. We have meetings every third Wednesday at the Charlotte Legal Advocacy between 8:45. So we start at 8:45, and we usually, well, not usually, we always have a delicious breakfast.
I'm going to second that as a witness to the last meeting. Not only was it informative, it was really wonderful to see the presenter that day was like, oh, we have this program, and other people were like, oh, I can help. We can link up and do this here. Oh, what do you need? We can do that here. And I love seeing that in action. I also love that you brought up some of the stigmas that come with us individually in different cultures, because we see some of that in this show. We see what happens as you're coming, where's your identity lie? There's really no resource and reach out to really get help as our characters are working through some of that. And so it is easy to see why we thought, oh, let's bring a connector, which is you guys, together as we have our audience leads and finds out how they can connect with other people and how they can pay attention to their neighbors. Charlotte has a large community and of different cultures, but we often are so siloed, we forget to see them. And so I'm happy that we're bringing a show to stage that doesn't normally happen, where we have a full Latinx cast. It is rare in Charlotte, so I'm very excited for us to get that on stage and tell a story, not just having an actor that is Latinx, but a story based in culture. I think it's going to be beautiful, but I'm a little biased. So I want you to be able to tell the people. Orlando mentioned how you come to a meeting, when it is, where you come. Let's say we come to the meeting and we want to be a member. How do people do that? How do orgs do that?
So the first step is you fill out an application. It's just a few basic questions about your organization, contact information, what services you provide. And then we have 3 membership levels, very affordable. And you just pay one annual fee, and you can become a member for that year. And then what that gives you is access to our Google group, which is an email group. So everyone in the group can have direct access to send a flyer, a job posting, a need for volunteers, some kind of communication where they need the whole community to help to pitch in. So it gives you access to send and receive all of that information in an instant. So you're staying connected to the group, to what's going on in the community. I would be totally lost about what's going on in the community if I didn't have this link. What it also gives you is access to a platform to share information, whether it's an in-person information session, a workshop, maybe it's a virtual Facebook Live, some way that we're giving you a way that you can share the information that you need to share with the community as well.
Love it. Thank you all 3 for helping come and share a little bit about the org. If you are watching this and you want to know more, we will have an in-person talk back after the show on August 11th. So if you have not gotten your ticket yet, you're welcome to come to the 11th, where we have a talk back post show. Even if you see the show on another day and you just want to come for the talk back after, you are welcome to do that as well if you want to get some FaceTime. We'll also have a table set up with lots of information, but we'll be sharing everything we can on your wonderful org so we can connect our audience members to you all and what you do. Thank you again for joining us. To those who are listening, if you do not have your tickets yet, we are just a week away from opening. So go ahead and get your ticket. Mojada opens on the 9th and goes to the 24th. You do not want to miss it. I warn everyone on every YouTube conversation, you don't want to miss it. Alicia, I know you've seen a show of ours before, so I think you can testify they don't want to miss the show, and it's just not my bias.
No, every single show that y'all put on, it just knocks my socks off, and I just love it. Y'all do such a great job, and it's such an intimate theater that it's not like seeing a show from hundreds of feet away. You're right there with the actors, and you're experiencing everything with them.
Love it. See, you're not just listening to me tell you to come see our shows with my bias. So please get your tickets now. You can go online to threebonetheater.com or check us out on our socials and follow all the links. We'll also share all of our information about our community partner so you don't miss out on that as well. Thank you again, all three. I'm happy you joined us today. See you guys in the next video.